Hello YouTube, welcome back. Chaz here again, your Pokemon professor. The lab coat's on back order. Now, I got another unboxing video for you today here, but before I get into it, I'm actually going to talk just a little bit about collecting cards versus playing the Pokemon TCG. Now, some people are interested in collecting and trading the cards to try and get a complete set, and for that, I would recommend your best way to get the cards is to buy individual booster packs like this here. Because in each of these packs you get 10 cards, various rarities, like you get a bunch of commons, uncommons, and rares. And this is pretty much the only way to get some of the ultra rare cards like the EX Pokemon, full art cards, and things like that to complete your collection. But if you actually want to play the game, the best thing to do is to go with what we're going to unbox today, and that's to pick up these pre-constructed theme decks. Now these are the ones from the Primal Clash set. We have Earth's Pulse and Ocean's Core. And the reason these are good if you're going to start playing the game is because one of the most important things in your deck is going to be energy cards. You can have as many Pokemon cards as you want, as many trainer cards. If you don't have energy, your Pokemon are not going to be able to fight back, and you're not going to win the game. So, if you're waiting for getting energy cards from the random packs, you're going to be waiting a long time to get enough cards to fill out your deck. Usually around somewhere between 15 to 20 energy cards would be recommended for a whole deck. And sometimes I'm lucky to get one out of the booster packs. So with that being said, you want to start with one of these theme decks if you want to get started into playing the game. Most theme decks will focus on two different types of energies. For example, the Earth Pulse featuring Groudon has fighting and lightning energy in this, and the Pokemon that go with it. While Ocean's Core, which is Kyogre's deck, has fire and water. So you're going to get a lot of good energy cards in these theme decks. And today we're going to unbox them, and I'll show you just what you can get in them. So, I already started with Groudon in the last video. I'll start with the Kyogre deck this time. Now, interesting thing with these theme decks is like the way they're constructed and put together, like the packaging. No one seems to know the trick to open these without causing massive damage and rendering the packaging just garbage. And I am no different in that respect. Just want to tear into it. So we're going to take a look at what we get. Okay, so here we have the Ocean's Core theme deck. Now you can see right on the front we have the Kyogre card. Nice foil promo card. The same one that you get in the regular set, except this one has like the foil effect on the card art. So let's pop this plastic open. So you get your card. That's Kyogre. We saw already the Spring Tides and Ocean Cyclone attack there. We have our code card for the theme deck online. The nice box, nice Kyogre art on here. Primal Clash. Now, first we're going to take a look at some of the paperwork that comes with it. Yes, there's paperwork. Essentially, you get this little informational pamphlet about things that are new to the set. So they're mentioning the Ancient Trait cards and Primal Reversion. And those are things we can get into like, in later sets, or later videos. And we see a nice art featuring the Mega Aggron and Mega Gardevoir. So that'll be pretty cool. We need to get some of those sometime. And you also get, with all your theme decks, a set of cardboard damage counters here. For when playing the game, as a Pokemon takes damage, you place these counters on to see how much damage they have. When their damage equals their HP or greater, they're knocked out. You've also got your burn marker and poison marker as well here. And another useful thing, if you're starting the game, your first time playing the card game, you're going to get one of these, which I'm not going to be able to show you all of it, but it is a playmat. And this shows you exactly how to set up your game, where to place your cards. Let's see how much we can show you here. So we got your bench. And this probably isn't going to work. Bench, active Pokemon. On the side it shows you where to place your prize cards, your deck, and your discard pile. And they give you the basic rundown of how to play your turn, right there. Now on the back of that is a lot more comprehensive information how to take each turn. I'm just going to show you as much of it as I can. there is a lot to read about. So I'm not going to go through all that today. I'd like to do a video sometime in the future showing how to play the game for anyone that hasn't played it before. But for today, we're not going to get into all that. Rest assured, that is actually really useful to have if you're starting the game for the first time ever. So what we're going to do now is, before we get to the deck, every theme deck comes with a special coin too, because some of the Pokemon attacks will say flip a coin, as we've seen before, for example, with Kyogre. Flip a coin until you get tails. This attack does 30 damage times the number of heads. Every theme deck will have like a nice fancy coin that goes with it, usually related to the deck itself, and this one is nice, shiny, blue Kyogre card. Primal Kyogre too. Now, most people wouldn't think much of the coins. They're just like, well, any coin can work, anything with a heads and a tails. And a lot of people actually use dice instead of coins for flipping. I actually like collecting the coins because you can only get them in theme decks, and it's a nice little collectible to go along with, like, say, the figures that I have too. So, I'm a fan of getting the coins. But what you want to take a look at is the deck. So, the first card, the Kyogre card, is number 1, and there's 59 additional cards in this for your theme deck. So right here you can see there's a lot of the energy cards. You got your Kyogre. We're just going to kind of breeze through them a little bit here. Milotic with the special ability Sparkling Ripples. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may put a card from your discard pile into your hand. Useful for getting back a card you might need in the the heat of battle, basically. Got a Vulpix, Mudkip, more energies. We got Ancient Trait Whiscash, and I think we saw this in my unboxing video of the Primal Groudon and Kyogre collections. It's got the Alpha Growth trait, which, if it focuses, come on, focus. When you attach an energy card to this Pokemon, you can actually attach 2. In the game, normally you can only place 1 per turn, but guys with this Alpha Growth ability let you get 2. Professor Birch's observations. Shuffle your hand into your deck and flip a coin. If heads, draw 7 cards. If tails, draw 4. Walrein. I like this attack down here, Frozen Splash. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a fighting type, this attack does 70 more damage. It's trying to represent the weakness in the video games where ground types, which is what Groudon is in this. Okay, Groudon is ground in the video game, but they don't have ground type in the card, so they made it a fighting type. So, if the active Pokemon is a fighting type, this attack, which is basically supposed to be water or ice, will do double damage. Acrobike, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put 1 into your hand and discard the other one. You got Torchic, Combuskin, Marshtomp, Seadra, Professor's Letter. Always a useful card. Search your deck for up to 2 basic energy cards, reveal them, and put them in your hand. Wonder what this mystery card is. They put it in backwards for some special reason. Let's take a look. Celio. Horsey. Energy. So you see a lot of repeat cards. In a theme deck, or any deck actually, you can have up to 4 copies of any one named card. So I could have like 3 more of these Tierno cards if I wanted, but you can't have more than 4. And it's always a good idea to run at least a couple of some of your more important ones in case you have one in the deck and you aren't able to draw it when you need it. So Tierno basically lets you draw 3 additional cards for that turn. Teammates. This is actually a nice card, but it has a bit of a drawback. You can only play this card if one of your Pokemon was knocked out during your opponent's last turn. But if it was, you can play the supporter. It says search your deck for up to 2 cards, any cards that you want, and put them in your hand, and then shuffle your deck afterwards. Nice bonus with that, you don't need to show your opponent what you're getting. So you can draw a really nice surprise tactic from that. Evo Soda. Search your deck for a card that evolves from one of your Pokemon and put it on that Pokemon. That's really good because if you don't have the card in hand, this lets you search for it. Barboach, Energy. Freshwater set heals 20 from each of your Pokemon. Another Tierno. Ooh, 2 backwards cards. Alright, let's get ready for these. The big reveal. Dun 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 dun. Horsey and Water Energy. Switch card. Whoop. Not to be underestimated. there are some things in the game that will prevent you from being able to retreat your Pokemon in case they're about to get knocked out. Switch card will ignore all that. You can be able to just play this card and switch freely however you like. Rough Seas. I'm going to mention this one a little bit later too, but this is actually a good card. It's a stadium, which when you play it, it stays in play and causes an effect for the entire game, as long as it stays out. This effect here says, once during each player's turn, that player may heal 30 damage from each of their water and lightning Pokemon. So definitely a good card to go with a Kyogre deck. And one more Professor's Letter. So that's what you get in the Rough Seas... No, that's the card. In the Ocean's Core theme deck. And we're going to take a look at the Groudon deck next. So now we got the Earth's Pulse theme deck. Fighting and Lightning Pokemon. And I'm going to try something. I notice there's perforation at the top here. If I can take this top part off, it pops off with a little bit of effort. I suppose I could just cut it too. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Minimal damage! I got the deck, minimal damage! Awesome! I'm still not going to keep it, but if I wanted to, I could now. So here we have Groudon. Rock Smash and Break Ground are his attacks, and pretty basic. Again, it's the same rare Groudon that comes in like the Primal Clash expansion, only nice and foil shiny. So let's open this guy up. Take a quick look at him here, nice and shiny background on him there. Alright, off he goes. Got the code card. And what these are, if I haven't explained before, is you can play Pokemon trading card game online, as it says right here. This code, or on the back of this card is a code that I'm going to use for myself, so I'm not going to show it off. But if you put the code into the online game, you will actually unlock this entire deck to play online. And again, you get your information about ancient traits and primal reversion, more damage counters here, the playmat plus the rules sheet. And you also gain a red shiny Groudon coin. There you go, look at that. Nice and primal. Awesome. 2 new coins for my collection. Now let's take a look at the remainder of the Earth's Pulse deck. Okay, so you see we get some energy cards. Very useful. Very useful. Electric and Fighting. Lightning and Fighting, I should say. So Trapinch, Electrike. Search your deck for an electric lightning energy and attach it to this Pokemon. So charge itself up, essentially. You got a Rhyhorn. Meditite. Another Tierno. Never underestimate the ability to draw extra cards per turn, because normally you only draw 1 per turn. You're going to want to probably have a little bit more cards to be useful for that turn. And Bidoof, if you use Scrunch, flip a coin. If heads, prevent all damage done to Bidoof. Zigzagoon, another Professor's Letter. We got Linoon. Fury Swipes does 30 damage times the number of heads. You flip 3 times. And Dash Attack is interesting because it actually doesn't hit the active Pokemon. It says it does 30 damage to a benched Pokemon. So he is kind of a bench hitter, essentially. And Bibarel. Now, if you get lucky with coin flips, this is devastating. Continuous Headbutt. Flip a coin until you get tails. This attack does 80 damage times the number of heads. You get 2 heads in a row, you're doing 160, which is enough to knock out some EX Pokemon. And that's a Bibarel. Let that sink in for a second. Okay, Fighting Energy. Scorched Earth. Now this is the stadium of this deck. So, once during each player's turn, that player may discard a fire or fighting energy from their hand. If they do, you draw 2 cards. Now, what's neat with the way they set these 2 theme decks up is the 2 stadiums. As you notice, this Groudon deck, it has fighting and electric Pokemon in it. Fighting and lightning Pokemon. So, The Rough Seas will actually benefit this deck as well, because you get to heal 30 damage each turn from lightning Pokemon. On the other hand, since the Kyogre deck features water and fire, Scorched Earth will benefit that player because they can discard a fire energy from hand to draw 2 cards. So it's really neat the way they set these two decks up. They sort of counteract but balance each other out a little bit. So that is the stadium for the Groudon deck. Electric. Rhyhorn again. Dynamo. Another Professor Birch's observations. Manectric. As you can see, with the little star symbol in the bottom, if it focuses in here, it's probably not going to. But anyway, there's a star symbol. It shows the rarity. There we go. The Pokemon cards are rated in rarity based on common, uncommon, rare, and ultra rare. Common is a circle, diamond is for uncommon, and this black star is for rare. If you ever see a shiny star, that's an ultra rare, usually for EX cards and full art cards. So this one, Manectric, can do Lightning Turn for 30, and you switch this with a benched Pokemon. It's a free switch, it's not too bad. And Electric Shock does 70. Discard all electric energy attached to this Pokemon. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. Not bad. You lose energy, but paralysis is actually a really good effect to have in the card game. And when we get into a video showing how to play it, I'll explain why. Pokemon Center Lady, always a useful card. Heal 60 damage and remove all special conditions, such as paralysis, from one of your Pokemon. So she's very useful to have in the deck. We got Rhydon, another Evo Soda, the other Groudon. So each of the theme decks comes with 2 of the legendaries. One as a foil, and then one just as like the basic. And something I wanted to mention too regarding rare cards like the Electric or Manectric. When you get random booster packs, a lot of the rare cards you find will have the foil effect like that other Groudon, but only one foil card comes in a theme deck. So if this Manectric would normally be foil, it's not in the theme deck. And the neat thing about that is if you want to have a full collection of all the cards from any set, if foil matters to you or not, you're probably going to want to get both theme decks, because then you can get the foil version and non-foil version of whichever rare cards we're talking about. Pokemon Fan Club. This is actually so useful because it says search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon. Now as you see, Groudon is a basic. Some evolution cards like Manectric are stage 1. And this fan club lets you search for any basic, such as your legendaries. Also lets you search for any of your EX Pokemon, because these days they're all basic. So you search for 2, reveal them, and put them into your hand. Then you can just bench them right away if you have the space. Got more energies, got Dynamo, another freshwater set. Another Teammates. Professor's Letter. The Acro Bike is in here as well. Rhyperior. Now I believe this one is actually pretty powerful if you get the right coin flips. Rock Shower, flip 3 coins. This attack does 20 damage times the number of heads to each of your opponent's Pokemon. This counts for active and the bench. So if you get even just 2 heads, you're putting 40 damage on all of your opponent's Pokemon with 1 attack. Really good. Then Stone Edge does 80, flip a coin, if heads, this attack does 40 more damage. Very powerful. Tierno, and the ancient trait, Medicham. It's got the Omega Barrage. I think we looked at this one before too, but quickly, this Pokemon may attack twice a turn. Enough said. You can choose to use Calm Mind twice, Calm Mind and Yoga Kick, or Yoga Kick twice. So you can actually get a knockout, like it says up here. If you knock out a Pokemon, wait for the opponent to send someone else up, and then attack again. So you can possibly, if you're lucky, get 2 knockouts. So that's actually really cool. And that would be the, I just bumped my camera, the theme decks of Ocean's Core and Earth's Pulse. And these are the 2 highlights of the deck right here. So feel free to let me know what you think of these theme decks in the comments below. And if you have any requests for things you'd like to see next in the videos, for like unboxings or perhaps strategy discussion, leave comments on that too, and I'll see what I can do. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.